Hey. What's going on, fellas?
What's up? What's up?
What's up,
Hello.
man? Well, guys, I hope everybody doing well, man. So, first of all, man, guys, working with AI friends, this is just a simple podcast, man. We just like to invite you guys. We're gonna talk about certain things and so some of the things that kind of going on in the industry. And I'm gonna let the fellas and stuff introduce themselves. I'll kick us off in here, man. My name is Marlon Avery. I'm a software engineer by trade. I'm also run an AI agency where we build and we also teach AI solutions, and been doing this for quite some time. I had the privilege of being a part of the team where we built the first AI grant writer on top of GPT-3. And since then, I've been kicking and building solutions and trying to figure this thing out with the rest of the world. And I'll pass it over to Sekou.
Hey, how's it going? Hi, my name is Sekou. Currently I'm a systems engineer working over at Pinterest. I've worked at many companies over here in the Bay Area in the Silicon Valley, from Salesforce and Oracle. I've been in some form of like ops systems engineering roles for probably the last 20 years or so. So looking forward to having a great conversation with you fellas. I'll go ahead and pass it over to Adrian.
Hey, everyone. I'm Adrian. I'm currently head of technology at DistroNation, formerly VP Engineering, LiveNation Video Network. Had a long career. I'm one of those people that made the jump into coding from something that was not coding, which was network engineering. So through hard work, a lot of frustration, and blood, sweat, and tears, here we are. An AI enthusiast. I like to build apps and little things, self-writing blogs on the side, anything that I can do to try and leverage what's new in the AI world. So as always, looking forward to talking today.
Yeah, man, appreciate it. Before anybody jumps, man, I know just kind of like that intro may seem very technical, and we're about to get into a bunch of technical jargon and everything, and all the code and stuff and everything, and not so much. Man, the reason why we're here, man, us three, we've been having this conversation for about a year now. We've been having weekly calls. We just kind of like talk about some of the things that we're seeing in the market, some of the things that we're building, sharing resources, sharing knowledge, and everything. And so, we'll definitely make it. We'll make it make sure it's user friendly, man. This podcast is just simply for people who are AI enthusiasts, entrepreneurs, tech professionals alike, and just trying to get a grasp or understanding of what the heck is going on in this AI universe and stuff, man. So that's to kick us off, man. Let's rock, man. Adrian, what's been the latest, man? How are things on your end?
To be honest with you, I found myself doing a lot of manual data entry yesterday. We haven't talked about this, but I was doing a lot of it, and it was one of those times where I knew that there was a way that I can accomplish this with an AI agent, an AI model. And I was up against kind of a time crunch. The time it would take to just, figure that out, set that up, was potentially greater than the time of just grinding it out and doing a bunch of cell movement and basically video metadata sanitization. So I think that's what's new. What I am happy about is all the projects that I've been working on that are AI assisted. I've had the opportunity to use Cursor recently, and I think it may have caused some issues with my computer, possibly. So I had to go back to VS Code, but it was a lot of fun while I was using it. I would have to say it was very fast, if anything.
Yeah, okay. Sekou, man, what's been going on with you, man, this week?
Yeah. Oh man, so much. Yeah, just my job is always new projects, always big things that we're doing. But for me, I've been spending a lot of time just trying to organize and make my life more efficient. See how much more I can get done. I always find myself taking notes, like trying to remember where I put those notes and finding that note. So the other week I got fed up. Like, you know what? It has to be a better way. Got all these cool tools here. So I've been working on like a pipeline to just make it so I can just do dictations and get it into a format that looks good on through a little pipeline that sends some stuff over to OpenAI about my dictations, kind of massages it a little bit, and gets it to a place into my little Notion notebook for me to like come back to it later. And I've saved so much time on that. That's been like my little cheat code lately. So yeah.
Man, it's definitely seems like the reoccurring subject, or recipe, if you will, is like we're trying to all figure out how to save time, and if it's not just saving time, it's like how do we like just stop doing tasks and everything that we don't like, and stuff and everything. And so I mean, let's kick it off, man. Do we think these AI tools are at a place right now that is ready to kind of like be the ultimate assistant to us, man? And so I mean we are kind of like seeing the experiences with with the with what we're seeing like with code editors and the IDEs and everything. Now we're starting to see document processing, PDFs and everything. We're starting to see Microsoft integrate into Microsoft Copilot, things like this, man. Do we think these AI I'm sorry, these AI systems are at a place today where they're really fully ready to be our everyday assistant?
Yeah. I can
Yeah.
I can jump in that one. So
Mhm.
like I think I don't know. It's not 100%, right? You still have to kind of nurse it, right?
Hmm.
I still like today, like there's certain things that they're just great. Like being able to take something that you just, unstructured notes you put together and just massage it into something. What do they call it on Gemini? There's a polish function that I use. Amazing,
Mm.
right? That's a game changer for me. Like at this point, it's really like communication I go through where I don't like at least see what's a better way to say what I'm trying to say using
Hmm.
AI. And that's a game changer and how it's like integrated in my life so far.
Yeah. You know what? That reminds me, Sekou. I grew up with a stutter, a horrible stutter. And I had the type of stutter that I would be able to know what I was going to stutter on, what word was going to trip me up, because there's different variations of stutters. So what I had to turn into was a little mini thesaurus to avoid the D word or the TH
Interesting.
word that I knew was going to stumble to like trip me up. And this was like, first, second grade. And I remember really going through it. And I remember it kind of building out my vocabulary because I had to be creative with the things I was going to say because I didn't want to, you stutter too much in your friend group, you're just going to get ragged on. At least, I was born close to the Gen X crowd. So, it was rough. So when I think of completions with AI, and I think of your polish function, I wish I would have had that maybe in some kind of heads up display when I was in the second grade for sure.
Wait,
Yeah.
are you a Zennial? Is that
Huh?
what you are? You a Zennial?
It's like yeah. I don't like the labels, but I am. I am.
All right,
Absolutely.
I'm not alone. So.
Yeah. 100%. I can't deny any of the character traits of a Zennial. I'm all of them, basically.
That's interesting. It's number one, Adrian, I didn't know that. It's like now you say you had a terrible study and everything, and the aspect of just like around conversation, man. Do we think we're at a place right now where we want to talk about assisting and handing off and everything? One of the big things is kind of starting to come up here is these integration of AI phone agents. So like a company like Bland AI, there's a platform automating phone calls for enterprises using hyper realistic agents. They just raised a $16 million Series A, led by Scale Ventures partners and everything. So, what's our thoughts on the world of AI phone agents? Do we think that's the next big thing?
I do. I think it is. I think I'm seeing it already. I think that when it comes to taking phone calls, we've been seeing it, a lot of complaints for as long as, I've been an adult about the offshoring of the conversational, the support, whenever you want to call a company, you're not talking to the company, you're talking to a call center that's located somewhere else. With the AI phone agents, companies are always going to be trying to cut costs. So if the pressure is there for them to optimize that, the pressure is there because of it's going to reduce costs. I would predict that a lot of time and effort will be put into making that the best it can be.
Yeah, I think I have the privilege of being able of like building one of these systems and stuff currently for a client of ours, and they've been talking about it for quite some time. I think what's really interesting about this space, we got approached maybe like what month is this? Geez, maybe a year ago. That's wow. We got approached a year ago about from a doctor's office, and they was looking to integrate AI into kind of taking over the phone lines. And so one of the things and stuff, right, immediately we found that like it was really difficult to get latency down. Like, that was just a year ago, and now it seems like a lot of companies like Blend and Retail.ai has kind of solved that issue when it comes to latency. And so now I think we're kind of going back to a place where it's like, how creative can you get? Because like now we're seeing models and everything be able to switch over to like everything from like different languages, being able to like pass data down. And so being able to have a real live natural flowing conversation with an AI phone agent and kind of passing off information to your head nurse, to the receptionist and everything, automatic check-ins, everything. Then we're talking about the process of another AI phone agent passing that data to them, where that AI phone agent now goes to do an insurance verification. So insurance verification. So then you get a text message right up the back, everything that, hey, this business is not in your network and everything. Would you like help or finding another one, or do you want to proceed and stuff with this one? Or if it is, then getting your information of copay, expectation, real live indication of maybe the practice is running 15 minutes behind, and it sends you a SMS and everything, text messages like an hour before you leave the house. And so being able to kind of pass that data down, transfer the information, and have it in real time, I think it's going to be absolutely game changing for not only just so many businesses, but just industries across the board. Sekou?
Yeah. So I can think of all of the like they're like, there are going to be businesses built around this. They're going to be like you just think about. We used to work for a company called Live Ops that did remote call centers, right? They made it so you can have a phone at your house and you can get calls routed for whatever fundraiser that was going on, or whatever things people would willing to get certified for, that they can just answer a call and go from there. But that's just half it. Getting the call, getting the knowledge base connected to folks is one piece, but then there's the systems around the quality assurance, making sure that like that agent says the right thing, and if they don't say the right thing, how do you catch it and resend it right through a pipeline and get it back over to be able to to use this, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it feels like we're definitely going this way. They've been trying to optimize call center space for so long.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, yeah. So I'm not surprised that someone has like really taken that idea and like got a lot of good funding around it and is running with it right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd take it a step further. The ability to have a vocal dev assistant in real time that is walking you through setting up and importing proper dependencies, walking you through how to navigate through AWS. We know that's a wormhole over there. Being able to in real time give you status updates when Azure's down. So telling you to switch over to, instead of like East Coast region, to sort of switch over to West Coast or anything, just because the deployment's down right now. Being able to have that type of help assistant in real time, I mean, it's game changing with the combination of things like Sekou mentioned of like, Replit or your Cursor AI, and stuff. And so just not only that, but I mean, now we're starting to get into having AI phone agents into the home, being able to have an hour study time with your little one as it's teaching them Spanish, or it's helping them with their sight words, or going back to Adrian, helping them, pronunciate so they don't have to worry about stuttering, and stuff. Being able to have that type of, runway, that type of like companionship in so many different areas that, I mean, speech, it impacts everybody, and so now it kind of depends on how creative companies can get. Being able to, I mean, I definitely can see a world where you have an Alexa skill now that's going to help kids and everything with, their stuttering and everything, and so, and being able to, help them with their studying, help them with, language or anything, help them speed up, the aspect of language, and then, sending them some type of rewards for their game stuff as they're as they're learning and stuff and they're going.
Oh, I would love that. Here's a weird idea that just popped into my head, and I want to know if you guys think it will ever happen. Okay, could AI phone agents become good enough to facilitate onboarding, say like to an email account or to like a Spotify account? Could it be to a point, in your opinion, where you can just, if you want an account, just call this number, and then it will walk you through, 5 to 6 like voice guided steps, and it would be somehow faster than creating an email, password, yada yada yada.
Yeah, I think the onboarding process of calling that doesn't matches human behavior. I think what's interesting going along with that concept is with OpenAI introducing the desktop, application, and then be able to have the desktop application be live and see your screen and everything. I think something like that we'll definitely see. And I think that we'll start to see that very, very sooner than later. And then you just have it as a live screen, and it's walking you through steps of like how to onboard, how to set up everything, not only just from a consumer standpoint, but from a B2B employee standpoint too as well.
If I would have had that would have saved me a lot of time. The OpenAI with that manual data editing I was doing, that would have saved me a lot of time.
You know what? I can actually see a place where I think that actually might be kind of useful. I remember many years ago when folks wanted to get online onto AOL or something like that. Like you'd have the older part of our population there were services that you can get where you would have like a young person come and like walk you through how to like use get on AOL, get you all set up.
Interesting.
I think there's definitely use that, especially for like even like folks that need additional assistance. Like there's definitely a place for some of that.
Yeah. A broader topic we have to discuss at some point, guys, is the where are the jobs for the youth going to be? Because it's all automated kiosks now, and where the coming of age story is going to be happening of the next generation.
That's interesting though. Going back to what Sekou just said, is accessibility will become an essential part of how AI is used and built on top of. So going back to it, especially, and it's funny, I didn't even think about, Sekou, what you just said on that aspect, because a phone number or a voice agent being able to use somebody who has limited vision is game changing. You
Ooh.
know, and so or somebody who can't properly use their hands or like what it may be. And so I think accessibility will be a huge market opportunity, with all these tools and models.
Yeah, I think one of these days
For
we'll
sure.
talk about. There's a little company called Be My Eyes that does something like this. Yeah,
Yeah.
we should, maybe not this session, but we should dedicate some time to talk about that one.
Oh,
Might
for
be useful.
sure.
Yeah. So here, going on and stuff with that, with we're talking about, AI being in the home. We're talking about, even aspects of accessibility. Lately, man, Amazon just partnered with Anthropic to enhance Alexa. And yeah, I don't know if it's interesting. I don't know if it's politics, but it's probably worth circling that they chose Anthropic over, OpenAI. Gentlemen, man, what's your thoughts?
You know what? That is a good one because it's not just OpenAI; it's over Amazon Q, right? They have their own product.
Mm.
Right?
Oh, that's right.
So that's I think that's quite challenging. Uh,
That's interesting.
no, Anthropic is definitely small enough. They don't have the same ties to Microsoft. That's a pretty good match. I think those two companies should get closer. Um, um, but yeah, I was just when I saw that, I was like, huh, what about Q?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Do
Well,
you
I
think that?
say, go ahead.
I mean, do you think that means it's like it's internally it's not ready? It's not kind of at the par and stuff where it makes to be, and so they don't kind of want to wait until the team or the product and stuff gets ready. They just kind of want to have partner and kick it off, and then they may build something down the road.
You know, it may be one of those things where Q is more purpose built. I know for coding is like I don't know. I've definitely enjoyed it more than like Copilot. I guess it's actually more useful than that. Maybe not as useful as like Cursor, but yeah. But Anthropic is like more. I don't know. It does a little everything,
Hmm.
right? And their solution to retrieval augmented um, or RAG is very different. And what's it called? Artifacts, I think they call it.
Hmm.
Um, oh, yeah, Artifact. There's like another caching mechanism that they're promoting now. I think that they're onto something that is unique to them. So I'm not surprised they're like connecting to them in that way.
Adrian.
Um, just call it Alexa. Make sure you still call it Alexa, whatever you do. I think that I've been hearing some horrible things on in my circles, like so because Google has and or Apple is coming out with their AI on phone kind of situation, and they're not calling it Siri. It's going to be called something else. You know, let's not drop them. Let's not drop the name so fast because everyone thought that Alexa and Siri was already that. It was already this AI tool. That was the impression that I think everyone had before. AI was a big topic. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, keep the names. That's all I have to say.
Just don't have me
I'm-
keep saying another name. Like it's
Nah, no other thing.
Yeah, I mean, Siri is definitely one of the grandfathers of the NLP applications, and so they're extremely early into the space, and one way say that it hasn't been a lot of innovation, even with a tool or a product and stuff like Siri, and
Mhm.
so so here with that, man, question: Do we think these big tech companies are just kind of using the word AI as a shrinkflation?
Uh-huh.
uh, uh, you know what? I did see the event, the Glow event on Monday, and the products that released.
But was that the name of it? Glow?
Yeah, it's Glow, the Glow event.
I watched it and I missed that.
It
So
was,
nice.
it's all about the colors. It's all the colors. But one of the things that like stood out to me when I saw it was that like, you see everything was like a very modest upgrade. They put bigger batteries in it, but they didn't want to really mention that, that they were, that it was like a very small amount of additional battery. That everything was like one tick up within there. But then you see there's Apple Intelligence. That's what connects to everything, right? Yeah, it's almost in getting the same premium prices on it. All of our previous phones are now going to be a little bit further from being up to date. But I do see that definitely feels like companies are using AI to make it look like they're really doing something new, and maybe that's the only real improvement that's happening. But they're selling it to you at the same price. So, yeah, I think so.
I was I was talking to my girlfriend, and she had mentioned that she was going to get some new AirPods, and I was like, well, I just want to wait because it's kind of around that time where Google is going to, I'm not Google, but Apple is going to announce the new AirPods and stuff for the new devices and stuff like that. And so I joined because I need some new AirPods like bad. I've lost my little ear tips. One of them really don't work well. So I was like, you know what, I can just wait. And it's kind of going back to to the topic is this. It wasn't any like serious level up, but I will say, in Apple's defense, that's typically how they do things anyway. They are very much increments, in building and releasing. And typically you got companies like, Google and Samsung that make these large leaps. And then, 8 months later, it's like the consumer doesn't care anymore about that big feature, where it be. And Apple typically just, we'll go our pace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to add the one other thing that popped out to me is the AirPod Maxes.
Like the over the ear.
Yeah, I don't even know why they had that in the actual presentation. they did nothing to it. They did nothing to it except for put USB-C on it. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, the case is still the same. It still has the H1 chip and everything. The new AirPods has the H2 chip. And colors. We did new colors. We do get new colors.
Got the glow.
Yeah.
I am so much more doom and gloom on this outlook because I feel like they have to be going through some kind of creative slump. They have to be. Because I think that it's just there has been not enough big swings, and the last big swing was the Apple Vision Pro, which was great. But let's keep going. Let's keep going with that. I'm surprised there's not more about that environment, that ecosystem that was announced.
I feel like they kind of. There was a little bit of Vision Pro in there. They didn't say Vision Pro once in the whole thing, but you notice that all of the cameras have the ability to do stereo video. Oh, sorry, spatial video, because they have the two cameras there.
Oh yeah,
lenses now. So now they are really going to start doing what Apple also does very well, is changing formats for video and pictures and making that standard so that other folks have to jump on the bandwagon and use whatever they're doing. So
now that I love. That I love. Let's do that. Okay. I take back what I said. Yeah, because if they're thinking about building for like a new video format, new like kind of immersive video that you can capture. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But also too, I mean that does like bring up an interesting point too as well. I think across the market, including things like AI models or anything, are we kind of hitting the plateau? And so we haven't seen, any big leaps, big innovation or anything, as far as like kind of what we experienced over the past 18 months and everything. And now even so, like on the hardware for the consumer products too as well. It seems like maybe in the last couple of years or something, kind of everything's been the same. Do we think we're kind of like hitting a a plateau of innovation, creativity? What's your thoughts there?
Interest rates.
Interest rates.
It's the interest rates.
Right? I mean, we would have to suspect there's something going on globally in the supply chain or something,
Yeah.
That's
Interesting.
that's affecting that. I don't know. I feel like we talked earlier about how there's innovation elsewhere. I saw the Huawei, not going to pronounce that right, but the Huawei trifold phone. And I thought it was super neat. I thought it was cool. I thought it was something that's like a cool little option. And so people are innovative. Like people are doing things out there, but it seems like Apple not so much on the hardware. Like Apple's not doing as much on the hardware front as it could be. But it could be part of the master plan. Who knows? Slow rollout.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I'm looking for it now. The CTO of Zapier did a phenomenal presentation. It was at a Y Combinator event, and he said currently right now that Zapier is one of the largest AI platforms in the world without being an AI company. He said they run 10 million AI tasks per month. That is 100% automated. But I'm looking for it. He did point out that there just hasn't been a lot of innovation. And he said that, he think we're starting to hit a plateau, even with, how fast and stuff these models and stuff have advanced and, built out, which is, I think there's a lot of pros and cons to that. We've typically seen this with other technologies, things like the internet, things things like the internet, things like blockchain and things like that. And the great thing about these moments is this is kind of where the builders get to work, and so that's where we start to see, the real people stuff like kind of go heads down. And then a couple years later, you start to see companies like your Facebooks, like Twitters and stuff kind of spent out of that. And I think we're at a place right now we haven't, we not only have we haven't, but we're nowhere close to like experiencing the Facebook like in the AI universe stuff yet.
Yep. I think it's about time for that too.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think that when you slap AI on everything, that's you can only do that for so long. It's a little stopgap in some of these cases. Because that buzzword isn't going to be around forever.
Speaking of buzzword, one of our buzzwords and stuff that we all mention at least once a week and everything is OpenAI. And OpenAI has apparently warned California about the AI bill that it will threaten U.S. innovation and stuff there. Fellas, what's your thoughts and stuff here?
Yep. So a little bit more about that. So the bill will basically, I'm going to just sum things up, but it will create an authority that will audit your AI models, the AI models that you are developing for a multitude of different things, mainly around like safety, probably some privacy concerns, things like that. And if you do not comply, you will be taxed. It's going to cost you. They're targeting mostly the most expensive AI models to generate. So tying that back to maybe the exact, the resources that are used. We all know AI takes up a lot of juice. I think it seems like a lot of people are not a big fan of this bill. Say, for instance, the Gigafactory, is that open in Texas? They They put that in Texas now. So a lot of people are hightailing it out of there for the
Elon mentioned that the Gigafactory in Texas took like 20 months to build from start to finish. In China, it took like 16 months, and he said legislation and just the process going through that in California would have took 2 years just on the legislation, like on that part. He said that's one of the main reasons why they left California.
Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, it doesn't surprise me being an outsider of California that things will be more regulated there. It's more difficult. They don't even make movies there. They go to Canada. I mean, that's where Hollywood is. You know what I'm saying? It's expensive there. Like, what? We got to go somewhere else? You go out there to make a movie, you hop on the bus right to Canada.
Atlanta it is.
Yep.
Oh man, that's hilarious. I mean, it's interesting. I think that process of the politics side of things, and just kind of want to be in control or have your hands on the wheel and stuff, if you will, especially when there's a limited amount of people who really understand this in the deepest levels, and you could argue, a good portion of those people may be in California. I think the concern and stuff may be is like how many of that portion, how many are there are official government workers.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of these things where like I'm trying to understand. Whenever I think of the federal government and when they want to enact something, and if I have to ask myself the question, is like, how are they going to implement that at scale? Right? How are they gonna like? Are they gonna be part of my pull request or something like that? How does this like? Or part of my CI/CD pipeline? I gotta like insert GovBot into it. Like I can't see how that works. And how are you gonna control the hobbyist, the person who's doing it locally? Because the cost of this is going to come down. The cost to train. So like, I don't know, regulating software in that way is interesting. Now I can see it maybe if you're a business and you're selling to consumers and there's an AI that's part of the mix there, right? That is doing something for them. Like
a phone agent.
Like a phone agent, like having some type of way of for them to like review your process or like what you're doing with the model, but still like how do you like it feels like that's how like IP that's going to get stolen very easily, because if they can get access to it, everyone else will get access to your IP for what you just built. So
yeah. The way that I look at it, I agree, man. It's like if the government is going to get involved, it's almost like a race. That's where it's as good as it's going to be the moment that the government gets involved with it, because in my theory, whatever division that's overseeing this, they're going to have one set of rules, and these divisions or departments or whatever are going to fall under different leadership, different, political parties. And the rules are only going to grow more. They're not going to be like, this is, the rules are not going to stay the same. It's going to be like the tax code in my imagination.
And I know like I think this is at California level, but like California is the blueprint for so many things.
Sure.
So expect it to get bigger.
I in playing devil's advocate here, I will say if the government does want to get involved with this type of technology, I would argue there's probably no better time to do that now with the current job market. Just because there are so many, talented and technical people available. And so I would imagine like this is probably the best time, to do so. If they do want to jump into it. But I mean, even then that window is minimal. I mean, we're talking about you have to hire on board and everything a vast amount of people. I would argue probably the next 12 to 16 months, and I'm not sure if they're actually thinking about this, because also too, then you have to do. We're talking about nationwide, not just California and stuff there into as well.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we'll see. I think
we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Cool. All right, cool. Here, moving on. Sake, thanks for the comment and stuff there. So, Adrian, man, one of the topics, here, man, that you've been excited about. We've actually kind of exchanged some text messages, some TikTok lives, and I even started like a debate. I pissed some people off on LinkedIn, talking about this subject and stuff too as well. So fellas, man, what type of impact do you think AI will have on the music industry? Because that is itself definitely, you can call the music industry its own mafia government and stuff like stuff. But what type of impact you think the AI will have on the music industry?
It's the impact is like really however long the arm of major record labels can reach, because I think that they're coming in hot after the AI stuff. Recently, Suno, one of the biggest AI music generators, got is what, in a lawsuit. They got charges or a lawsuit brought against them by the major record labels, basically saying that you guys are using all this music that's copyrighted to train your models to generate music, but you're using it off of stuff that is owned. So it's difficult. One of the reports that I saw about, I was listening to the old what was it, PBS, and they were doing an expose on Suno, and what they found is that one of the generated songs had the producer song title, in how the producer tags are in a song,
Metro on the beat,
Metro, Metro Boomin Want Some More,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I had a joke that I've been saving for a very long time, guys, and that is Mike Will, in fact, didn't make it. It was AI. There we go. I'm out of here. I'm done.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Yeah, man. So
going back to the TikTok live you sent me though, Marlon. You sent me this awesome TikTok live. Now, Marlon over the weekend was like, check this out. This guy was on Suno, and
yeah,
he's a music producer, and he was making great music off of that. Great. I mean, I was impressed. He uploaded a stem, a little snippet of a beat, and some lyrics to Suno, and Suno did the rest. It created a bridge, created vocals.
It was awesome. What's the artist name? Really Michael. Oh man, that's gonna bother me because like literally he's in my playlist. I've listened to him a few times. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna check it out. So here's my thoughts and stuff with the AI and the music industry and stuff here. The music industry to me is very similar to banking industry and the healthcare industry. Typically inside house, they don't innovate. They have people around them and companies around them that innovate, and then they sue them, and then they later on figure out a way how to partner, and so they're always playing defense. I mean, we saw this as early as what was the first music streaming?
Napster.
Napster. And we saw this as early as Napster and everything. We saw this as late as TikTok was early this year when they kind of took all Universal, kind of took all all of the music and stuff. So the music industry itself typically doesn't innovate. I mean, Spotify's not a music industry. It seems like even Suno is not part of the music industry as well. They don't innovate. And then later on down the road, they kind of figure out a way and stuff how to partner. But it's like they're always playing defense, which just means they're always behind the curve. Too as well. And so where I think that, I mean, we saw this, what was it, last year with the Drake AI song, the Drake and the Weeknd song. I think, man, what's going to happen, and this is kind of where I really kind of and I kind of ruffle some feathers and stuff here. I think eventually we're going to live in a world where there would be top music Billboard charts with songs that are fan generated in likeness of their favorite artists. And so I can see, like with the Drake AI song, that song was, Drake didn't have anything with it. It was, I can't remember the guy's name who created it, but that song was fire.
It was fire.
It was fire, and so I can see a world where, a 60-year-old kid who just had his first heartbreak, and now he's upset and he's about to go make a Drake AI song, with featured by Eminem, and is expressing, his emotions and his experience through the song, and he's on Suno and he's on, Claude making the lyrics or anything, and I can see him putting all this together, and then, now you got a banger. And I see, hopefully, now I just don't, my concern with that is the innovation of that process would definitely happen outside of the music industry. I would love a world where the royalties on that also live on a blockchain, where the artists up front will agree to have their license, available for creators, and there's a 50-50, 60-40, 70-30 split, and stuff down the middle, and that happens, and all of a sudden now you have artists. It's funny. TikTok is doing something similar where you have creators making up songs that we forgot about. We forgot about, with artists that we forgot about, and stuff. And now they're bringing back, now these songs are blowing up, and all of a sudden, and like the artist is like, wait, what happened? Everything. So one creator got onto, TikTok and decided to do a dance or anything, and then boom, it took off. I think we're going to see that same type of process and that same type of flow with music generation and your likeness of your favorite artist. And I would love to see the creator, get his fair share in that process, just like we're starting to see on TikTok.
I would love to see it too. That's a perfect example about something that just takes off. A song like that's old, no one's ever heard of, and it just takes off because it has the appropriate visual attached to it. Just think about back in the day with MTV, how much thought was put into a video, making the video perfect because the visual had to be a great representation. I was such a snob back in the day. I would drop a song if the video was whack. I feel like every time I hear the song, I think of that stupid video. Like I can't, So
yeah, I mean, and also too, we're talking about, we're talking about, oh wow, yeah, also too, we're talking about, this is where, here's the conversation again of how AI is going to create jobs, because now we just kind of went through a creative process of your creators are creating their favorite songs, or they're creating something with the likeness of their favorite artists and everything. I can imagine somebody starting a YouTube channel recreating 106 in Park with all AI generated songs.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I would totally tune into that. I would totally tune into that. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Sponsored by Apple, sponsored by Amazon Music. Now, watch this. Now you need a producer for that show. You need editors for that show. You know anything? You need graphic artists for that show. Like now you have a whole different world of creative vision and stuff like that, where now you need more people to have. It's going to create more jobs. It's not going to just simply replace everything. It's going to create more jobs, all based off the creator and how creative people can get.
Well, yeah, I guess. Oh man, it makes me think of so many things. I think the one thing that comes out to me is like, all right, we have more AI music in the world. Eventually, if we have more AI music than regular music, does that mean that AI will start, trying to make music from AI. Like, what do we get from there when we create the circle?
The
Right?
snake will eat itself at some point.
I mean, you definitely have models that learn from the top charts of the AI generated, music songs for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can see it. I can see the wave kind of like slowing down too. Like, say if that does happen, AI music is just flooding the market, and then when a person hears a like bespoke track that's done by a human all the way through, and maybe it sounds different. It sounds like it's more quality, and people get an appreciation maybe for musicianship, maybe further down the curve.
Yeah.
Again.
Well, you want to get really creepy, freaky?
Mm-hmm.
Go on. Uh-oh. Where you going?
One could say that music is an emotional expression. Is that fair?
Absolutely. I think so.
What happens when you get to the place where you're going through something, you're going through life hits, something gets difficult, you lose a loved one, you lose a job, and typically when people are feeling some type of like emotional impact, one of the outlets that we put on our headphones, like we try to block out the world, everything. Imagine a world where you have a private for yourself AI therapist that is helping you through this process of grieving, process of losing, your job, process you just had a bad car accident, whatever it may be. From there, you agree to, share your notes, what's going on, whatever it may be, with a private LLM that is a full AI music generator. And then by the end of that day, that weekend, you get sent to you a specified song that will help you through this grieving process of what you're dealing with. In likeness of your favorite artist. All automated.
This reminds me of, I hope it's not too off topic. There's this there's a show that I think that Killer Mike was in, where he was trying to live off of just getting things from black-owned businesses.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I missed this. I missed this. Tell me more.
Yeah. He was eating like raw potatoes because
oh my.
That was the premise of this episode, is that everything had to be black-owned, like not just grocery store, the gas station, everything, like the whole 9 yards. And it was definitely tough. But I think in the AI world, it probably is going to be a lot easier at some point to have your whole world AI and like have no interaction with a human being through the process. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of dystopian. I feel like there's going to be a movie about this any day now.
Yeah. I mean, I have a therapist and I got a mom. And my therapist, I go to my mom when I really want, I talk to my mom a lot, so there's some things I talk to my mom about, I don't talk to my therapist about. I don't.
Sure.
Because my therapist is going to be very realistic. He's going to be like, Adrian, you know better than this, but my mom knows that I'm a goofball. She knows the inner workings, she knows the person. If an AI assistant was able to get to that level of familiarity, that would be great.
Watch this. Yeah. Watch this. Sekou, what was the first conversation you brought up today? What are you doing? You were trying to automate and you were trying to build what?
A second brain. That's my thing. Trying to build a second brain.
Yeah. And that process will allow mom to be able to and I think it's a thin line and stuff there, but that process would allow mom to be able to, build a model on top of, her knowledge or everything that becomes, a long-term, therapist to yourself.
Yeah, but I refuse to help Vicky Green get this thing set up because she's going to be Adrian. I'm talking to it. It's not working. Adrian, pick up the phone. It's not. I'm saying it. Is the model training, Adrian? Killing me.
Yeah, I think she'll just have to talk, or it'll just be in the background, stuff.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Yeah. I'm gonna not like her by the time the model's trained. I'm gonna no, I ain't gonna use this model.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Everything. All right, let's see, man. All right, so let's move on and stuff here. OpenAI has reportedly they're in talks to raise $150 billion valuation. Currently, right now, they're in talks to looking to raise $6.5 billion at $150 billion pre-valuation. So this new valuation is significantly higher than OpenAI's previous reported valuation earlier this year at $86 billion, and far higher than any other AI startup today. The funding will reportedly be led by Thrive Capital as a major investor in OpenAI a previous round, and also they're in conversations to be included with companies like Microsoft, like I had before. Apple's interested in, and also Nvidia too as well. And says as OpenAI partners that they are investing in the success of the AI startup world in one way or another. Everything. Thoughts?
Yeah,
I feel like Nvidia CEO is like whatever dinner party he's at is it's a fight to get to that. It's he's the most popular guy. He rolls up in that leather jacket every time I see him, and he is looking like he is the coolest guy in school right now. Everyone's trying to hang out.
I think we both had the same thoughts. So you're saying that Nvidia is getting maybe $75 to $80 billion is what you're saying here. Is that because? Yeah, because that's where it's going. It's like it's going right into those GPUs, but yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, and they need more if they want to get to AGI is what they're saying, right? That's not enough to get them all the way to where they need to be. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, what do you think? I mean, we talked about the hardware stuff and everything, the GPUs and stuff for sure and everything. I mean, Sekou, you're a cloud engineer. So like, what do you think? Does OpenAI need help on the cloud side too as well? Do you think there's it's sort of part of the race?
Yeah, it's definitely part of the race. There's scale, there's optimization. Every time they make models faster and cheaper, that helps out with their margins when they're selling things to folks, and allows them to reinvest. But the challenge is this is a world where all of the tools are changing like every 3 months. There's optimizations that they're gonna have to do that they don't even know that they're gonna need to do just yet over there. So yeah, it makes sense why they're doing what they're doing. They're working at a scale that doesn't exist anywhere else in the world, and they're providing services in the unknown where they don't have a lot of folks that they can, kind of lean on for that. So,
I got an email today from OpenAI. It said the latest GPT-4o model is now 50% cheaper for input tokens, 33% cheaper for output tokens, and support structured outputs. To explore this new version of the API, this new version, everything specify, GPT-4o Omni 2024 86 and everything for the parameter in the API. And so, like you said, it's getting cheaper. And said that's going to go on effect. It says on Wednesday, October 2nd, the default version of GPT-4o will be updated to the latest GPT-4o model. So like you said, it's getting cheaper. It's getting faster, too as well. And stuff. And so there's an interesting question And they say, is it possible to use OpenAI API for free? That'd be interesting. Do you think we'll get there with the API? It's free. I mean, we know ChatGPT it already has its free version. But is that the goal and stuff there? What's your thoughts?
Wow.
Yeah.
I can see them getting to the Google model, right? Where it's free, but it's not free, just like they're doing with the Chat GPT itself, right? It's just
Mhm.
when they get to these, once they get the closer they get to these larger economies of scale with what they're building, a lot more possibilities come up, a lot more, you know, what do you call it? I don't know, just I think that they're just gonna as they get as things get cheaper and they want to connect more customers, providing free is the best advertisement to get someone to pull someone in, especially when they
Yep.
can like cap you at a point where it can only be so useful, right?
Mhm.
What
So
become the business model then? I mean, we're talking about now, GPT-4, GPT-4 being available for public use for free. It does still on the ChatGPT side, and if it does get to a place where there's a free version, of the API, I mean, what becomes the business model and stuff there? Is it simply relying on enterprise?
no, I think it's the integrations, like the things I'm doing with what's it? I'm using instead of Zapier, I'm using Pipedream,
Mhm.
and I'm using OpenAI as a like integration point for all my little things that I, you know, build. I can see that being useful for them to like allow me to do my small thing and just enough so that if when I try to do something too interesting, I have to pay the money or I have to go past whatever their free cap is, right? Kind of like
Mhm.
AWS has like
Your free tiers.
the free tiers. Like
Hmm.
I can definitely imagine OpenAI going that route. But I think there's two things. There's the efficiency curve that they're pushing against, and also the what do you call it? Things are expensive. Interest rates are super
Hmm.
high. Remember, all of this came to be in a high interest rate environment. Like you have to scale to
That's a
high.
great point.
Oh, it's a really
Most
good
of the
point.
large companies that you see now were created during low interest rate
That's
environment.
a really good point. Yeah.
So
Mhm.
Mhm.
So are we thinking back when interest rates reset, prayerfully, if they do reset, I mean, what is do we see OpenAI becoming offering like free tiers on the API side? Maybe ChatGPT is completely, free with advanced, integration for cost usage. And then, more of the more of the level stuff is kind of built around the enterprise side and kind of allowing your day-to-day consumer, to kind of use it too as well. Because also, we're also giving it data, too as well. So there has to be some back end pros and cons of that too as well.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Mm.
Yeah, there is. There's the ways that I would not want it monetized, and that's like ads or some kind of doing the go in the Google route where
Oh my God.
they
Add
actually just
mid
mess up
prompt.
mid prompt.
Oh,
Mid prompt.
you know, ads are coming. I just
Oh
I
my
know.
take
They're
them
goodness.
gonna be
all
like, it's
things.
12 o'clock.
Ugh.
You ever think about stopping to McDonald's? It's 12 o'clock now. Isn't it lunchtime?
Mid prompt.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh man, that's painful to even think about.
Oh, that'd be horrible.
Oh man, imagine your AI assistant just stopping what they're saying and giving you a commercial in between your answers because you're on the free tier.
Oh, that is painful.
That is so painful.
That is,
Uh,
but it's like I mean, it's the same thing we see with YouTube and stuff now. It's the same
Google.
exact model. Yeah, we see with YouTube and stuff now. And on the it's even wait, does YouTube TV? There's commercials on it even after because there's no free version, right? Everything. So there's commercials on it no matter what, right? on YouTube
There
TV.
was a free tier. There's tiers. I thought.
There's tiers.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But we're seeing this now. Anything with YouTube now is like it's no longer the necessarily ad, but now you're kind of going with the creator ad, and stuff inside the flow too as well. And so if they got sponsored or things like that.
Yep.
Dude, I feel like I have a story. I have another story.
Uh-oh.
I feel like I work at so many companies. I have so many references here. I worked at a company called Telview. That was the name of it. Where they built broadcasting systems of IPTV broadcasting systems, where they interweaved commercials into the actual broadcast, like directly into the stream itself, so that there's no way to essentially use like a ad blocker or something like that, because it's embedded to the actual file that's actually streaming through. Like I think I feel like YouTube and some other places are starting to actually like really, start doing some of those things. Like it's definitely nothing is going to be free forever. Eventually they're going to want to pay some bills, and ads is tried and true.
And they always do it so slick. It's always like a slow, and it's like because you don't really realize what happens like a few months later. You're like, wait, has there always been that there and everything? I think that what's interesting is now with the power of social media, the consumer has a lot more say and a lot more pushback. And so a wild example of that is like Chipotle, and stuff. And so, Chipotle kind of got called out, in trouble for, putting less portions in the bowls when people order, on the go or to go, where they order ahead. And so a lot of creators was ordering person and then ordering ahead and then putting the food on a weight scale. So, put the food on a weight scale, and it was just like a drastic difference and everything. And it seems like that correction has already started to make some impact with creators, kind of calling out themselves, people like Keith Lee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no one's safe from Keith Lee.
Yeah.
Jesus tore up DC.
Right. We'll have to...
He tore it up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What, mambo sauce? The mambo sauce ain't do it.
The mambo sauce. He didn't get the right mambo sauce.
Oh,
he didn't.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Yeah, he's definitely. I don't know. I don't know if Atlanta has recovered from
the wake of destruction that follows Keith Lee.
Oh man, that's hilarious. All right, man. Well, shoot, man. Well, here, man. We had a great conversation and stuff here, fellas. Man, we talked about AI phone agents potentially being the next big thing. We talked about Amazon partnering with Anthropic to enhance Alexa. And then we kind of dove into some of the big tech companies using the word AI as a shrinkflation. And also, too, we talked about one of Adrian's favorite conversations with the impact of AI having on music. And then OpenAI, California, AI bill threatens U.S. innovation. And also, too, OpenAI reportedly, in raised conversations of $150 billion. Wow, $150 billion valuation. And so we guys, there was a great conversation. Sake there. First of all, I appreciate you listening. Appreciate you viewing. Definitely like, subscribe and stuff, all channels and platforms stuff here. Yes. Are you guys doing a podcast all the time? Yes. This podcast stuff here is called AI with Friends. We'll be doing this every Wednesday. And so, move forward. And so it'll be on all of your podcast platforms. And so feel free to DM one of us, too, as well. With that being said, you can find me on all platforms as well. I am marlonavery.com. Sekou, what about you?
Yeah, it's me, Sekou the Wise, over on Twitch and over on TikTok.
And Adrian?
And I'm infamous Adrian on Twitter. And you can check out my website, www.adriangreen.xyz.
Make sure I got it right there right. Boom.
Right on.
Yeah.
Cool.
See. Yep. See what it was. Okay. Well, definitely, guys. Definitely appreciate you. Appreciate it. It was an awesome conversation. People viewing and listening and watching, and I definitely appreciate you guys stuff here. You can definitely feel free. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe and stuff here. Give us a listen, give us a follow and stuff on the platforms. Like I said, the platform we call AI with Friends, and so you'll be able to listen to us on all your favorite platform stuff. And so until next time, we are out.